Hello, everybody. Welcome back to What Remains of Edith Finch. As you can see, the hookah that her brother had is sitting out here with a bunch of pot on it. Oh my fucking god! Yeah, this dude was a big-ass pot smoker. Big time. So we gotta go through this whole fucking thing again.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the candy, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander. I asked him to describe it. He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads. And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more. I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend. On the edge of a city he named Lewis Hope. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians. And songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination. So he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor. And he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him.
You'll be good one day.
He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis. He started drifting away from our reality. Minneapolis, until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Lewis kept sailing on. In Lewisburg, he heard rumors of a handsome queen. The queen was on her own quest for radiant rainbows. He followed the sound of her electric sitar. His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound. He knew the world was all in his imagination. But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king. For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him. He began to forget the world we know. I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker. He began to despise the man with a royal contempt. I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions. Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on inviting him. his crown. There was only one thing left to do. Bend down his head.
No! Oh,
Rest I can
man.
hear. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
That's so fucked up. That's what happens when you smoke too much pot. Your name is Joey.
What?
Well,
Caleb, I'm gonna come to your fucking house. I'm gonna do so many
just don't
bad fucking
don't
things
smoke
to you
pot
that
and
the
don't
police
have your
can't
name
even-
be Joey, kids.
You know what, Caleb? You know what? My YouTube channel name is going to be your full government fucking name and address. You little fucking fag.
I don't think that's.
God, I'm on stream again.
On the way back from
Every fucking time.
You gotta tell people when you start up streams.
He did, Joey. He did.
Oh, I didn't have my headset on, so that is my bad. But Caleb should also watch who the fuck he's talking to before I punch him in his goddamn throat.
Pothead.
You think if I punch him hard enough, I'll crack his tiny little Adam apple?
Why did you call
Turn him into a girl?
Aiden, if you type the words "what the Sigma" in my chat, I will fucking throw my goddamn. Thank you. Oh, don't put junkie monkey. You can't type that.
Oh my god, why can't I comment? Caleb, you be so fucking lucky I can't comment on this video.
No,
Why
you're
can't
not.
I comment?
leaving everything behind.
No, you're lucky. Not me.
I'm talking to my chat.
What happened that night had been coming for a long time.
You're talking to your
Maybe you
chat.
should have come sooner.
You know how to turn off the light, you Terry?
But it had to end.
Put the fan remote?
Yeah.
All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
Mommy, literally.
I was like, if my dad was there, my dad'd be like, yeah, I got no problem cutting off your balls for you, bud.
What the fuck is she talking about?
The whole last day, Edie just watched his pack and didn't say a word.
Some prank call that they got from
She
work.
raised her glass and said,
To our final night together, and all our final nights apart.
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Joey, what's your
Edith,
favorite
you're
Pokemon?
excused.
Oh, there's plenty of Pokemon that I like.
Is there like possibly like your favorite? Like which one's your favorite, if you can?
The power had been
If you
shut
can,
off.
you say.
But Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom said the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance.
Huh.
Or that Edie had a key to it.
That is a good question. I don't know. I like Kyogre and
I like that one. Friggin' well, he was in I don't remember his name. He, or she, I don't know. He was in the they were in the friggin' the Aloha whatever.
If Edith and I leave tonight.
Hills and that shit. Friggin'. I'm gonna look 'em up.
We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it.
Don't forget the blood.
When the fog rolled in, I lost my way. I got turned around. For a while, I wandered. I started seeing things. Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them. Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it. Let go. I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great-Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it. A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot. She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you. And tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way. This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
What a story, man. I have zero clue. Zero clue.
Okay, love. Okay, love. Let's say. Trying hard to, but can't even breathe. You don't know who I am? You know who I am? You just got in the dark. I'm one of them type of guys that be in the dark when you gotta go pee at night. And that just get you. And you don't never come back. And your TT ain't gonna be the same. Your daddy ain't gonna be doing that. So like the past, you don't got nothing to do with me. You talking, you don't know who I am? You know who I am? You just got in the dark. I'm one of them.
Tonight, the United States is preparing for a significant attack from Iran on U.S. or Israeli assets in the region. This is according to U.S. officials.
And given a fair shot, given a fair chance, Americans have never, ever, ever, ever let their country down. Never. We do not scare easily. We never bow. We never bend.
So the credits are finally over. Alright. That was a great game, guys. Have a good night. And we will be playing Detroit because